Hey you guys, Vilma here from Vilma's Book Blog, and I have a video review for a series that I'm totally obsessed with right now. The Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Had the opportunity to meet Sarah about a little over a week ago at the Texas Teen Book Fest, and I hadn't read her books yet. I had heard they were fantastic and that I would love them because I've been on a real big fantasy adventure kick lately. So I started the first book that day, The Throne of Glass, and this is it. There's actually 3 available books in the series right now. Throne of Glass is the first one. Crown of Midnight is the second one. And just recently, Air of Fire was released. There's also some novellas, and there's 6 books planned in the series so far. So there is definitely more to come. But basically, this is a fantasy, adventure, romance with kind of a paranormal twist in there as well. And it's fantastic. I can't say enough good things about it. Basically, this is the story of Celaena Sardothien, and she is kind of the most notorious assassin in the land. And she is sent to do some hard labor in the salt mines of Andover as an 18-year-old. And then one day, she is picked up and sent to the Crown Prince of Ireland, Prince Dorian, who offers her a deal. So he says, hey, I will give you your freedom, after some years, if you choose to participate in a competition to be the royal assassin for the king. So she is up against kind of thieves and assassins and warriors, and she has to fight to be the royal assassin so that she can, get her freedom in the end, because otherwise she's being shipped off back to Andover to do some more hard labor. And so she joins this competition, and it's brutal. And at the same time, there's a lot of things happening in the castle. There's kind of an evil that's lurking that she has, to try and figure out what's going on. And during this process as well, it's really about Celaena opening up herself to others. She is like one badass chick. I mean, she is an assassin, right? She is tough. She knows how to fight. She has had it really tough too, as we learn throughout the series, kind of what her background is and what's happened in her life. And so she's really kind of a hardened individual. And getting to the castle, she gets to know Prince Dorian. She is, forced to train with the captain of the guard, Kale, who I love. And she, makes a friend as well, Princess Nehemia, who comes into the story. So she is kind of trying to figure out more about herself, about others, about who she can trust as things happen. And so kind of moving into the second book, we find out a little bit more about what's happening. There's been a lot of injustice done in the kingdom on behalf of the king of Ireland, who is an awful person. I mean, he has been responsible for so much, and he's up to something, and everybody's trying to figure out what it is that he's trying to do. And so the second book is really, even more brutal. I think there's some things that happen that are, difficult to read for sure. And I found there was a lot more emotion encapsulated, especially at the end of that second book. And, coming to the end of Crown of Midnight, we discover some things about Celaena. And moving into Air of Fire, it's really about Celaena understanding and, coming to terms with her destiny. So there is kind of a big twist, and Celaena is really needs to kind of go back into her past in a sense and figure out what she wants to do, what she needs to do. Coming, into book 3 as well, she is struggling through some grief, some things that happen. Her heart gets broken, her trust gets shattered at one point, and so we see her struggle through all of that emotionally as well. So she really, there's so much going on. There's also some new characters that are introduced in Air of Fire, and some side stories that are kind of woven into the main plot. So there's, it's a series that is pretty amazing. The character development is so rich and layered. It's so well done. You really feel like you know the main characters so well. There's so much intrigue and suspense, and the pacing is done so well. I mean, as I'm reading these, I just can't imagine how Sarah Maas just imagined all of this world, the interactions, the history of these characters and of this land. And I mean, it's just so interesting and fantastic to read. So, you know, especially for those of you who are wary of trying, you know, a fantasy novel, and they are YA, mature YA, I would say. You know, don't be, because really there's romance, there's action, there's suspense, there's adventure, there's, you know, so much emotion in some of these books as well. And so just think of it as a story that is just so much richer than perhaps what some of you guys are used to. So I absolutely love it. I can't wait to read more. It's hard to imagine, you know, 3 more books coming. I can't even begin to think of what's going to happen, but it's a fabulously written, fabulously imagined series that never for a single second gets boring. So absolutely highly recommend these books, and I hope you try them out and that you love them as much as I have. So Throne of Glass, happy reading.